Welcome to your quarter in design and modeling. I'm going to use this video as a way to go through some of the introductory items at the beginning of a quarter. So I'm going to go through a little bit about myself. I'm going to go through the classroom expectations, and then we will take a look at how the items are going to be graded in class, as well as the material we're going to cover this quarter. Okay, so expectations. Your Bluetooth should be on every day when you come in the room. I use that to do multiple things. I can use that to spot check how you're doing on a lab when we work individually, or how a group is working together. And then I also use it as a way to quietly redirect a student who might get off task. I can change your iPad screen to put you into what you should be working on. So that also means that your iPad should be charged each day. So when you're coming in, make sure your iPad has enough charge to get you through until the end of the day. If it doesn't, you should be bringing a charger along with your iPad to class so that you are able to make sure it remains charged through the end of the class period. Water bottles are permitted in the classroom, but I don't allow them to go over to the computers when we work in our engineering software. We'll leave most of our main items over on the lab tables with the black tops, and only take to the computer the items we need for that lab. Because it is a lab classroom, we're not going to be eating in here. So if you have gum, then it should be in your mouth before you get into the classroom, and it shouldn't be heard popping. If you have a piece of candy that you were given as a reward from another class, it would have to be in your mouth prior to coming in the room, with no sucker sticks sticking out of the mouth where you're taking it in and out. Okay, so hard candy would be in your mouth, and wrapper disposed of prior to entering my classroom. Every day when you come, I would like you to have your iPad, and again, if it's not charged, make sure you're bringing a charger with you, something to write with, and then other academic work. So maybe a book, other homework, and that can be an ebook or a handheld book. When you come into the classroom, if you're listening to music during the passing period, those earbuds need to come out when you enter the classroom so that you're able to get started and see what's up on the screen. So when you come in, I will have my slide up. That is up there for you guys to tell you what we're doing, tell you what's expected of you, and let you know essentially what you should be getting started during that passing period once you get to my classroom. So no earbuds in unless we're using them for a lab in the class. Phones, when you enter the room, my pocket chart is on my main classroom door, so you will drop that off as you enter my classroom. So pick a spot, put your phone in there, and we will leave it in there until I dismiss you at the end of the period. At the end of class, don't pack up early. We're not going to stand up and start to line up at the door. You're going to remain in your seat, and I will dismiss you very quickly after that bell. A little bit of background about me. The best way to get in contact with me is going to be through email or Easttime, and that email could come from like normal email or via Canvas. So either of those are going to work well. There is also a button on the bottom of my Canvas home screen for you to be able to request an Easttime pass if you needed to come down to make up a lab or work on something with me. You would fill that out. It's a Google form, and then it would send to me so that I could send you an appointment pass in your eHall Pass app. A little bit more about me. This is my 14th year teaching, so I have 13 years of experience prior to this year. Other than teaching the Project Lead the Way classes, in the past I have taught math at the middle school and high school level. I also taught general science at 7th and 8th grade, and I taught a high school science class that was all physics and chemistry. I also have my elementary license, so I could teach any of the K through 6 classes. And then to be able to teach these classes here for Project Lead the Way at the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade level, I went back to Purdue to get my certifications for each of the different areas. I have one son. His name is Stone. He loves sports. His two favorite are definitely basketball and baseball. Baseball would probably inch that out a little bit more as his most favorite. He typically is going to stand out both in his classroom and just in general. He's kind of tall for his age. He is 5'2" right now. And he's only got about 3 more inches and then he will be my height. So we are guessing that that's going to happen probably before he returns to school in the fall for his 5th grade year. All right, how the class is going to be graded and then what things you might see in PowerSchool. We do weight your grade in this class, so 75% of your grade is going to come from our projects and labs, and those are the things that you're going to be doing here in the classroom, so that should make up most of what your grade is. We are going to have some bell work or reflections that we'll do. Sometimes the bell work will preview a topic, other times it might be a spot check in the middle, and then others could be at the end of an assignment to see what you have learned. PowerSchool Coach should be familiar with what your other teachers are using. LS is going to mean that you turned the assignment in, but you didn't earn at least a 50%. Yes, you can go back in, redo items that you missed or that you didn't complete, and then turn it back in to try to earn a higher score. If you see NHI, it means you didn't hand it in at all, and yes, you can still get that lab submitted. Okay, so missing work will be accepted all the way until the last day of the quarter, until 4 p.m. on that last day. However, late assignments will have a small 10% penalty of the grade deducted. So if you say you scored a 95% on an item, you would, if it were turned in late, you would then score 85%. So I would take 10% off of the grade. And this is for those items that you forgot to turn in. It's not necessary to email me and let me know that you did submit a late assignment. I will get a notification from Canvas, and then usually that grade would get updated within 1 to 2 school days. I don't typically do updates on grades over the weekend. If you are out sick, the late policy doesn't kick in until after the number of days back that equal the number of days you were sick. So, for example, if you were sick for 2 days and you came back, and then you would have 2 days to make up that work. On the 3rd day, then those items would be late. Okay, so I will work with you to try to get a new schedule for your makeup work if you feel overwhelmed, and that way you're able to get the time you need within reason. All right, so what are we going to be covering this quarter? We have a couple different units that we're going to look at. Our first one is our introduction to what engineering is and the design process. So the design process on the right-hand side of the screen is very similar to the scientific method, but it's specifically geared towards the creation and engineering of a product. So we're going to look at what engineering is and what the different types are, how STEM connects to the different areas around us in the world. We will have a furniture design project where you will start from the very beginning and design a furniture project. And then we'll take a look at how CAD software, which is our computer software like Autodesk Inventor that we will use, is used to help design theme park rides. Our second unit is going to be where we're learning a little bit more about measurement and sketching. So we will use a dial caliper, which is the instrument you see in the bottom left-hand corner. We'll use that to get fine measurements that go into the thousandths position. We will also practice isometric and orthographic sketching, where we get to see what an object looks like from the different sides. Our last unit is going to be our designing for production unit. This is the one where you will be actively working in the engineering software and you will be experimenting and creating different items. You'll have a few guided assignments at the beginning to learn the basics about the software, and then you'll have more general categories where you are able to create something under that topic, but of your choice. So we will make a nameplate, we will make a logo, and then we will design either a room setting or a house or building. Okay, so here are some of the examples of students past. We can see different logos, different objects, and room setting. More examples again, and these are all examples from 6th grade students past. So these are not from upperclassmen necessarily, these are the ones that they created while in my 6th grade class. And if you have any questions as the quarter progresses, again, don't hesitate to email me.